What's going on, guys? I meant to put this video out yesterday. I didn't get around to it. I forgot to put my video on edit. So basically what I was seeing was that we were in this rising, actually it kind of looked like a potential pennant here, but I've seen these prior and I've seen them drop down. And not only that, but we were getting a lot of rounding action on this RSI, and on the 4 hour we actually had a potential TD9 flash coming in. So I was wondering if we were going to get one more spike up or not, but we did have this spinning top here and an 8 candle. I expected this next to be a 9, which we actually reset the RSI here with a 1. And we did come down and bounce right to my breakdown target that I had for this. If we did break down here, I was expecting that we would come down and we would hit roughly 40. I had 43.35. Whoops. If it went up to the breakdown, shit. Well, either way, you kind of see where I have my target there. It was based off of that, as well as this being the 4 hour 21 EMA, 43.38. Now, I don't think that this is just over, even though we just bounced here, because if you look over here, this is kind of what I'm seeing playing out here. And so far, as long as it holds up here, and as long as we don't, we can wick below anything we want here and get as low as we want, but I have some targets down here at 43.70 as my final potential drop point here. So, what I'm looking at mainly on this breakdown here is that this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful left shoulder, head, head, which the neckline would actually be up higher, and potentially right shoulder here. Now, of course, it can come all the way down to 42.50 with a wick if it really wants to here, but this is what I'm expecting is going on right now. This could be the bottom potentially, but I do have a target based off of a fib level here of, let's see, based off of a fib level at well, where was it? Maybe I just did it on the smaller time frame here, but I have a fib level down here at 43.70. It might be, let me hide some of this stuff. So you can see the inverse head and shoulders here. And this low came to 42.40. So, potentially it could come that low. I'm not too sure on that, though. I don't really think we're going to break down that low here. But we have the 0.382 at 43.71. So that's also the 1 hour 50 EMA. So I was kind of thinking we might come down to there. Even though we just hit my breakdown target, we could come a little bit lower here and maybe round over here, create a nice rounding shoulder. We might have one wick down here. If you haven't got in this, you could put some buy orders down at 42.40 or 42.30. See if you can get filled down there. I don't know if you would, but you can try because you never know. But I think that the main support here that it's going to buy back up to if it goes that low is going to be 43.72, 43.75, something like that. And, it's going to round over here and create this right shoulder if that's where we're headed here. If this is just going to be the only measured move breakdown right here, we buy up and then we stay around this 45.49, then that's the 0.236, which would still be bullish, and we still can create a inverse head and shoulders off of that if we want to create this as the right shoulder here, depending on the buying. But you can see that right now on the 1 hour, we are perfectly retesting this line here, which was the breakout here, which is where I went long. Well, I think I added another long position in around here before we broke out ultimately. And, I was seeing some bearish divergence, and I was seeing some rolling going on in the RSI, and I did expect a drop here, and I meant to put a video out on this last night to give the update here. I actually bought in down in the 39 area, and I ended up taking profits up here, up on this line based off of this here. I took profits, most of my profits at $47 even though we talked about it the other day that I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to take the profits, we ended up hovering there for so long that I started taking profits there. And then we had a nice wick up here, and I took profits at 48 even as well. And this was kind of the old wick here that we wanted to get above eventually, and we want to get support on here. So, looking at the RSI here, right now, I mean, on the 4 hour, it's showing that we broke this line here, which is not a very good sign because obviously we could come lower seeing that. But as long as we maintain above here on the hourly, we are in fact getting support here. So what we'll have to keep an eye on here is, this being like a small right shoulder ahead, and then if we come back up and test this resistance line here, which we might buy back up to this 47.75 here and get rejected, we could come back down, but we'll have to see how that plays out there. But for now, we are getting rejected. Oh, are we getting? Yeah, we're getting rejected at this 1 hour 200 EMA at 45.75, 45.80, something like that. Let's see what it is exactly 45.77. So, if you do buy that dip and you wanted to do a quick day trade, you could potentially do that where, if you did buy this at all, 44.50, 44.34. I don't know what it came to, but I think it came pretty close to my target here. And it does look like it could still continue down a little lower if it doesn't get any, any buying action coming in. So, this might be it. We'll have to see. I mean, you see in the past, we've had big wicks down and then buy back up, and then we open and we run back up, then we fall lower, and then we, create a shoulder, which we did here potentially, right? So, this could be a wick, buy back up, and then drop again a little lower, and then create the shoulder just to fake out. But that's something to keep an eye on here. So I wanted to put those targets in. I mean, on the 45-minute, we do have a golden cross coming in here, but I think that at this point, it's probably nothing good is going to come out of that there just because of the fact of we had this dump here. So, I'm still bullish on this thing longer term, and I really don't think that we're going to come down here and have to make any type of double bottoms here. I don't think you're going to see this 39 area again, but you never fucking know in this stock market here. So, these are just some targets to look out for, and this is the scenario that's playing out, and I just wanted to put that on the radar here that even though, we have some corrections going on, which was kind of needed. I mean, we were getting in this overextended area, almost in this overextended area. You could see in the past here, most of the time when we got up to this dotted line here, we did have a good correction. It doesn't have to go down there. It can come down to this point here, which is kind of what I'm watching here as the potential of this inverse head and shoulders, but that would still bring us down a little bit lower on this RSI if in fact we do come down to roughly the same level. So you can kind of see where we're at. But if we end up just rolling over here, then that would be even more bullish here on the 1 hour, but I do feel that we would come down to this line here, which would inevitably be that 43.70 area. So I just want to put this quick video out here. Hit the like button if you enjoy this, if you're in this play, and if you're not, this is a great time to start looking for some entries because this thing will be back at $100, at least $80 at the lowest, $70 or $80 at the lowest. So just think about that when you're buying it. And that's all I got for you. Peace.